Yo, I'm sorry it took so long. We're finally going over how to win more fights. First PvP video, and we got a lot more coming, so let's talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the X-Fil and Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here, especially for today's video because we are going over PvP basics, how to win more fights. The top 2 questions in my inboxes right now are: when am I going to drop more gun builds because of all the attachment and gun build changes with the new update, and when am I going to come out with PvP videos, how to win more fights. You guys don't want to get head eyes and head airs anymore, which honestly, no matter what I tell you guys, it's going to happen to you and it's going to happen to me. But I have some things we're going to go over. We're going to talk about the mindset of PvP. We're going to talk about game sense. We're going to talk about map knowledge, when to push, when to run, game mechanics, rotations, markers, and how to get better at fighting in general. So I'm super excited to go over that with you guys. I want to get right into it, but I do want you guys to know first that I do stream on Twitch and YouTube every single day. It used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but lately it has been daily. All changes you guys will need will be down in the Discord in the links below. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 a.m. PST. Grab some caffeine and come have an amazing time hanging out with us. Lastly, before we get into the video, if you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. I'm going to be covering a lot more PvP tactics in depth in different videos. So we're going to be doing a video specifically on how to push, a video specifically on how to fight squads, a video specifically on how to fight, in different ways. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like that. And you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. Let's get into the video. Okay, so we are at Customs, one of my favorite places. If you guys have been in the stream, you guys know Customs is one of my favorite maps and Dorms is one of my favorite places to be. If I start getting owned really bad in this game, I will come run some Dorms, get to a place where I'm comfortable and I like being. So this is where I'm going to show you guys. We are going to talk about a lot of the stuff here. What I want to say though first, before we even get into how to fight, is you need to understand that everybody gets slapped around every once in a while in Tarkov. No matter how good you are going to get shot in the face at some point, whether it's by 545 PS and you weren't wearing a face shield and it's like a level 2 player who was literally just sporadically spraying and a random stray round hit you in the face and kills you, or somebody outwits you, outsmarts you in some different type of way. I was literally thinking of Survivor, outwit, outsmart, outlast, or whatever they say. Anyways, somebody's gonna outsmart you and kill you that way. There's gonna be something that you get shot through. It doesn't really matter how, but you're going to get shot in the face. That's just how it is. The other thing is, the best way to get better at PvP is not even all the stuff that I'm about to go over with you. It is getting into more PvP. If you want to learn how to fight better, you got to get into more fights. So with that being said, we're going to go into Customs, Dorms, which is where we're at right now. And I want to just start talking as we go up into this area. As you're approaching this building, one thing that I'm already starting to think about is, are these doors open? What do I have around me if I need to take cover right away? What's behind me, right? Am I covered from the rear? And where are the exits and entrances? What windows can you jump into right here? There's a back entrance. There's a front entrance. There's windows over here you can get into. There's a back window way over there that you can get into. There's a front entrance right here that's usually open. So I'm already automatically thinking of all those things. So as I approach, if one of these doors is open, what I would normally do is I'm not going to walk up like this, right? I'm going to walk up like this, but I'm going to know that right away, I'm already thinking which way line of sight that I want to break, which is one of the first mechanics of PvP. So when you are pushing, you want to make sure that you always have an option to break line of sight. The mindset you want to have when you are fighting is it's not where you are, it's where you're going. That is what makes a good PvP player. It is like a chess game. You're always thinking about what somebody's going to do, not what they're currently doing. You always want to be ahead of somebody in your moves, whether it's rotations, whether you're listening for markers, whether you're pushing, whether you're waiting, sound checking. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You always want to be trying to think ahead of the other player. So with that being said, we're going to push forward. And one of the first things I want to say is be careful of sounds. Sounds are a very, very big cue, which I call markers. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Markers are basically something that will give away your position, almost like a radar, for a good player. So as you play this game more, as you get more map knowledge and game sense, there are things that are going to be considered markers to you. So for instance, if I hit this front bush, that sound, let the person inside know this is exactly where I'm at. So every single area has different sounds, making it so that you kind of know where somebody's at all the time if you know what's going on. I'll give you another good example. If I'm pushing this way, I know whoa, that thunder scared me. I know somebody's going to be coming around this way if I hear this glass break, because it's very common for people not to know that if you break this window, you'll hear it. So let's say somebody was running over here, right? And they go to push like this against the wall. Guess what? I know exactly where they're at. And I'm going to shoot when they come around the corner. Let's say I'm pushing this area, right? The door's open. That when I hear that glass, right away I'm like this. Because I already know. I play this enough, this area enough, to know that's exactly what somebody's doing, right? So when you open doors, one thing that I'm going to say right away is you never stand in front of the door or in the doorway when you open it. So if you see a lot of like guys who are into PvP, you're going to see them run up and right away they go like this and they run away right away. That is something, you don't have to do it exactly that way, but you never want to be in front of a door when it opens, right? You want to be able to peek it as it opens, but you never want to actually do that. The other thing is I'll probably peek with a light so I can see all the way down the hall, because people hide at the very back where the garbage bags are. Me being one of them, because people don't see you. Look at, if you don't have a flashlight on, you can't see me back there. As soon as you open this door, I'm going to drop you if I'm back there. But flashlight lets you see back there. So little things like that. Like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth in this. I'm just giving you guys basic understanding of how things work. So as we go up, the first thing I usually do is I'm going to go into cover. I'm going to close the door behind me and I'm going to go into cover. Probably going to book it into this room and I'm going to listen for a second, because sound inside is different than sound outside. I'm going to be listening. Okay, I don't hear anybody. I'm going to start pushing. Light on. And I always keep my rifle, right? I always keep it so that I can point fire, hip fire, whatever you call it, at somebody's head. That way, all I have to do is fire and drag. You can even lean into corners to even get more accuracy. So that would look like, if I know that I'm going to push this corner, I would push it like that, right? So when I drop, I'm at their head, right? And that's how you would do something like that. So the other thing that I wanted to say really quick before we even continue is when you are PvPing, you don't need to mimic exactly how somebody else PvPs, because most of the time that person is PvPing because that's the way they're comfortable fighting. So if you're not comfortable fighting by rushing and pushing, most of the time you see people like moving really fast in certain areas, it's because they know that area very well. There's little things, subtle clues that let them know everything that's happening in the building, like this building, without them even like really checking those things, because they just play it so often. And I'm going to talk about that as we continue, but I just want you guys to know you don't have to do everything you see your favorite streamers do. You guys need to learn PvP step by step, brick by brick. That way you can get comfortable fighting and win more fights. So this is how I push all the time. You guys know, if you watch me, I will always push at head level, and I will always make sure that, like, okay, so for instance, really quickly, I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details, but if I push this corner, right, and nobody's here, the way that I'm going to push the rest of this area is I'm going to keep my back against the wall. So keeping your back against the wall is a really, really good tactic when pushing and watching areas, because you know that nothing right here is going to kill me, right? So I'm safe. Versus, I'll give you an example, versus going like this and pushing like this. Now, this is exposed, this is exposed, this is exposed, and even now I'm exposed right here. Whereas if I were to sit right here, I'm getting a lot of the same data with my back being covered. So then I can check this quickly, right? I'm still covered by this. And then I can go and shut the door if I want, which I usually do. Then what I'll do is I'll pass this area, right? And right away, go into here. I'm going to check down here before I continue. Make sure nobody is in here. And then you can continue and check all the way down here if you want. It's totally up to you. So we're going to push up, though, because I want to continue to talk about this stuff. So we're going to push up the stairs, right? Checking both. Nice and slow. Okay. So as we come up these stairs, now we're going to talk about the very first point, and that's game sense. Game sense is when you play the game so much that all the different players you come across, you're going to see certain trends that begin to happen. A lot of the people play a very similar way. They're going to sit in the same corners. They're going to push the same areas the same way. And then you're going to have obviously that new player or that person who doesn't play an area a lot. They're going to be in an unorthodox spot, like for instance, standing in the middle of the room. People who play dorms do not stand in the middle of the room. When you push these stairs, there's usually 2 spots that people are when they're in this living room. There is the most common spot right here, right? They're trying to hit this for cover and they sit right here and they wait. Or behind the pillar. They'll try to get you right here when you come past, or they wait right here and then they hit you right here. So game sense lets me know that when I push these stairs, right, I'm right away locking into the area I know where most commonly I see people, and you can also shoot through this. So I will right away come up the stairs and look right here. If nobody is right here, the next place I'm going to look at is the pillar. And I'm going to look at it like that and make sure that nobody's behind it. If you come up like this, a lot of times people can sit behind it and you not see. That's why I go like this, to make sure that I don't see a body at all, an arm or anything, a gun sticking out behind this. So that is game sense. Game sense is when you continually push the area. That's why I tell you guys map knowledge is so important, and playing the game. Like, you just have to play the game. You can't come into this game 20 hours in and just be good at fighting, because there's so many variables to being good at fighting. It's not just mechanics. It's not like just click heads. I know that that's like a meme, like, bro, just click his head, just get good. But there's so many variables to fighting in this game. To be good at PvP, you can't just click heads, because even the best people mechanically can get rocked by somebody who isn't as good mechanically with game sense and map knowledge. So with that being said, the next thing I want to talk about is map knowledge. Map knowledge is one of the most important things in the game. You need to learn a map, and you need to learn it well. It's better to know maps. This is what I tell chat all the time. It's better to know 2 maps at 80% than it is to know every map at 10%. When you begin to learn maps more in depth, not just by landmarks, but actually get to know the map, you guys will be shocked how many more fights, whether it's with scav bosses, or players, that you will come out on top of. When you have more map knowledge, you are more comfortable in your environment, making it so that you're not as likely to make mistakes based off of stress, or make mistakes based off of lack of information. What map knowledge does is it gives you more information, right? So when I'm pushing up right here, I have things in my head from map knowledge and game sense together that tell me how and when to push. It's going to put me in a place where I can push forward confidently because I know what's going on. So the first thing that's going to happen is map knowledge is going to tell me, for the most part, which doors spawn open and which doors spawn closed. So for instance, if I come up the stairs and I see this door open, I know someone is either in this room or probably on the right side. When you peek, you need to peek very quickly. You just need enough to just see down the hall. You don't need to, I think one of the most common things is when new players come in, they literally just walk in like no care in the world. It's just, you can literally get shot from here. You can get shot from somebody hiding. You can get shot from down the hall this way. You get shot from down the hall this way. You can have somebody push out of this room, and they're just, you know, waltz in here, look around, you know, oh, what's going on here? Oh, what's going on here? When you push this area and I see this door open, now I'm going to be cautious to the side, and I'm going to right away peek this corner and see what I can see very quickly. But I know that this is going to block my back when I peek this way first. So that means I'm going to peek the right first because map knowledge tells me there's a huge dresser here that's going to block somebody's shots from down the hall. So this is how I usually do it. I'm going to look like this quickly. And then if I don't see any reason to go down this way, I am going to peek this way. Now, when I usually peek this way, I usually peek crouched and like this. The reason why is because I'm giving them a very small window to see me. Now, obviously, this is for the average player. Good players know where people push and all that. I'm not talking about dorms legends, right, that I'm going up against here. You have to fight them differently, and I'm going to give you a video on how to fight them. But I'm going to peek right here. One, because I can see really quickly both areas of the hallway, and, right, I give them a very small window to see me. Now, oh, this light noise is really annoying me. But anyways, so we're going to come up here. Now I'm going to push into here. You can also do the run by technique where you run and look down the hallway. You know, that's a different technique for a different day. But I'm pretty much trying to figure out what's going on. Now I'm going to start to push down the hallway. You can push with a nade. You can do whatever you want. So the other thing that's going to help us push is markers. Like I talked about when we first came into the building, markers are a way for people to almost be pinged by a radar in your mind. It's nothing that's going to show on your screen, but it lets me right away know where somebody is. I'm going to give you a couple examples. This wood marker, this door, it's very sensitive in Tarkov. Whatever you step on, you hear that sound. That's why you hear guys when you're watching them on stream, was that you on metal? Was that you on wood? Was that you on gravel? Is that you hit a bush? Was that you that hit a bush? The reason why is because those are markers in their mind. That lets me know where you're at based on what you're stepping on, right? So, talk about that in a second. If somebody is in here waiting for me, right? They're like this, waiting for me to come down the hallway. This wood, hear that? That lets me know they're here because there's no wood panels over here. See? The other one's over there. So if they're right here, I know where they're at. If they're out here, hear this? Listen. Hear the small gravel scratches? I know, guys. I know that this is overwhelming for new players. I know that you're thinking like there's no way I could think of all this, but when you play often enough, you're going to start to realize what these sounds mean. Let me show you another common one. Bathrooms. There's a bathroom at this end, and there's a bathroom at that end. When you're in a bathroom, a lot of times there's broken tile on the floor. Hear that? I know they're in the bathroom. So when someone is running from you, I hear that wood, I know where you're at in the hallway. Same thing, I'm just gonna show you one more time in the bathroom if you're on this side. So if you're peeking down this way, right? And you don't know which door to check first, and all of a sudden you hear this, you know which room to check first. Now, obviously, there could be other people in this room, but you know for sure there is somebody in the bathroom. So what I would do is I would nade the bathroom, and then I would peek this way. Nade the bathroom, and then get ready for them to run out, but always, you know, use your nades. So we talked about game sense, we talked about map knowledge, and we talked about markers. Next, I want to talk about rotations. When you are getting into a fight, let's say we got into a fight with somebody down this hall, you never want to peek the same area if they've seen you peek it. So, like when I was right here, if I hit somebody right here and we're fighting and then all of a sudden they start hitting fire back and I get right here, I'm not going to just re-peek this because now I've given them time to line up their crosshair over my face. So that is going to get you head-eyed. If I go like this again, fat finger, sorry. If I go like this again, I'm most likely going to get shot in the face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a shot just to get them to flinch, and then I'm going to move, right? I'm going to move across. So I'm going to run like this, whatever I'm going to do, but I'm going to move locations. Now, I'm going to slowly creep up to where they're at and try to close this gap. So whether you just push regular or whether you use a nade, so we can bounce a nade off here, just as an example, and push on that just to see what's going on. Push into the next room and keep continually getting closer. You can do kind of anything you want as long as you are rotating. The other part of rotation is big rotations when in Tarkov. I know that if you played Apex Legends, if you played Valorant, if you've played Call of Duty, a lot of times you can get away with peeking the same area a couple times before you just get slammed. This is a game with a lot of risk involved. If I get slammed, I don't get to just respawn in a couple seconds or get revived by my teammate. I lose everything that I come in with. So, big rotations win the game. Let me give you an example downstairs. If I'm engaging with somebody down here and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get into this living room, well, I have to think about all the different ways I could. There's a door right here. I could jump off the roof over here and jump into this window. I could run all the way down and go around. So this is what I would normally do. Let you in a little secret real quick. But if I'm fighting somebody right here and I feel like I can't push that well into here and maybe there's multiple guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to nade in here. And then I am actually going to book it down here. They're above me now. Oops. And I'm going to actually go this way. Now, they're going to be right here, and I'm going to be coming up behind them. Even though they know where my position is now, this type of rotation, it puts them in for a shock, a surprise. It switches the fight in your favor because now I'm in control of where they're focusing, right? Now they're like, oh my gosh, he's behind us. Especially if it's a team. They're gonna be like, is that you? Are you coming up the stairs? What's going on? Depending on where everyone's at. So then I'm gonna push in here with the flashlight and I'm gonna see if I can get a better idea of where people are. So if I see a guy peek like this, if I see somebody that's in this room peek out, if I see somebody that's in this room peek out, if I see somebody in the kitchen, right, go like this, now I already start to have a better understanding of where they are. All I could do is I can literally run right back down the stairs. And if I really want to, I can go like this. Make all kinds of noise. They're like, dude, what is going on down there? And I'll run right back up. Obviously, be careful. And then all of a sudden, now I'm back over here. And I will literally keep doing this kind of stuff. I'll go onto the roof and I'll jump off. I'll do whatever it takes to win the fight. But I'm letting you guys know, re-peeking the same thing is only going to get you shot in the face. You need to rotate. You need to break line of sight. You need to try to take control of the fight. You need to put yourself in a position where you have the upper hand. Now, the other part is you need to know when to run. If you're uncomfortable fighting 3 people in a living room right here, you need to leave. You need to take your gear and you need to leave, because the best way to make money in this game and the best way to level up and just continually get better sometimes is just by running. If you know that it's going to be a death, you're pretty much just walking your gear into the room and handing it out to the guys one by one. Don't be pressured by people to push every fight if you're uncomfortable. We want to win these, not just fight just to fight. So there's going to be many times where you die, where you were comfortable, but at least you were kind of more comfortable going into the fight. So if I automatically think, if I'm just getting nailed right here, I'm running out of ammo, my health is low, I'm just getting rocked by whatever rounds they're hitting me with, I'm going to be more reluctant to push this fight. So all of that needs to be in consideration when you are pushing any fight. Lastly, I want to talk about game mechanics. If you guys want to get better at the game, you guys are going to need to spend a little bit of time in the offline mode, load in with a ton of scavs, and practice with the weapon you want to use. The weapon you use more often is the weapon you're going to get better at, the weapon you're going to be more comfortable at. If you guys watch a stream, you guys know I love the AKs. AK-74M, AKM, AKMN. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as it's an AK, I'm going to be pretty comfortable. We've been tearing it up with the AK-74U. So grab the gun that you're comfortable with, the gun you want to get better at. Start practicing offline. Even if it's just one raid, spend 30 minutes before your stream or before you playing, and I promise you that muscle memory will start to kick in. You'll start to get better at PvP, even if you're just fighting scavs. Level up the scavs. Make them hard. Make it so that they're going to kill you, and then get better at healing, get better. I mean, you can literally practice everything in offline mode. So definitely try that, and then that way you guys can get better at aiming, you guys can get better at your gun, better at your sensitivity, and game mechanics are definitely going to help you in the game, but I would still say map knowledge and game sense are going to be the most important for winning more fights. that wraps it up for the PvP basics guide. I really hope that it helps you guys out. I hope it answered some of your questions. And don't worry, for all of you who want to know more in depth, I'm going to be going into almost everything we talked about more in depth on separate videos, but I don't want like a 50-minute long video breaking everything down. I just want it as short and sweet as possible so you guys can digest these easily and we can come out with more content. So those will be coming very soon. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys want to see first in the PvP series. Do you guys want to see how to push first? Do you guys want to see how to fight squads first? How to fight chads? How to fight rats? I mean, what do you guys want to see? Let me know down in the comments. If you guys like the video, make sure you smash that like button. It goes a long way for YouTube's algorithms and it makes me very happy. So thank you guys so much. Also, of course, if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can always hit the bell if you never want to miss an upload. I would love to see you guys by the Twitch stream, YouTube stream every single day, Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. PST. Grab some caffeine, and I know it's going to be a lot of fun. All right? Remember the mindset of PvP. It's not where you're at. It's where you're going. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope that your fights are productive and beneficial to your stash. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.